So judges, it is your job to not be swayed by the audience one bit. You stand in it. You raise that number and you say, I own this number. And audience, it is your job to sway the judges. Let them know what you think. Please. So we're gonna get this thing rolling and we're gonna ride until the motherfucking wheels fall off. Our first poet tonight in the slam is Zac.
I always thought the name was an insult. So of course I took every opportunity to whisper it behind your back, you Firefly. Its namesake-like give children the right to snatch it up the air like some tiny pest, like some barely there phantom, almost too insignificant to care about, just an insect. To be captured and collected, but never revered or respected, and you were my Firefly, that tiny sliver of stolen moonlight, when I had no one left to abuse, but you were stronger than me. And you proved it in the night when only the crickets of the trees could hear your whispers. You'd sing lullabies to your inner child and protect it from your father's fists. And when his calloused hands dropped the bottles, they took up belts instead. But you stood, somehow empowered by the tears he made you shed. And after years of abuse from this pathetic, soulless shit, you managed to endure and even rise above it, and you rose, tiny Firefly. Higher than this withered, worthless sperm donor bastard could ever lay a fucking hand on you again. And you flew. Across the deserts of shattered memories that cut to creatures on the ground, and you flew higher than the tangled nets that your mother built to hold you down, and you flew until your tired wounds brought you at last to my doorstep, and trading one abuse for another, you replaced your father's fist with my words. Firefly. And it's not that I meant to crush you, you just crumbled in my hand, and I felt jealous like snowy deserts feel towards deserts of sand, and when you smiled. Stars lost faith in their ability to shine. It was like claiming a new continent. I always knew you weren't really mine, but there was always that ambivalence. And it was difficult to breathe because I had never met anyone in this world more fucked up than me. But you listened when I talked, and you hugged me when I shuddered, and you only let me go when you thought that I loved another, and I thought I loved her too. So I let go of your hand, and only in that absence did I finally understand that a firefly is not an insect, it's a gift. A beacon, that tiny bit of light in the darkness, and you were my firefly, always dancing on the night mist just beyond my region, and in a sudden burst of brilliance, you were gone. And I know now that there is no God. Because if you had been created, he would have kept you for himself. And that's why your father's fist kept flying. Once he saw what he had done, he was an artist of light that peaked at 31, because you were his masterpiece. And he couldn't stand knowing that nothing in this world would ever be beautiful again once you stood beside it. Once it was compared to the way a fire burned inside it. You were a firefly too brilliant for anyone to keep, and I'm surprised your sisters never slit your throat when you sleep out of jealousy for the way your eyes held galaxies of a brilliant and oblique tranquility. You deserve more than any of us could ever hope to provide. And we keep the ashes of everything you burned up to cinders inside us, just to remember how warm we felt when you held us. And you taught me to judge a love by the amount of debris left in the dust, and I see now how we can never really be more than just insects. And in a world of pure darkness, all we ever really need is you.
Zac, I think it's safe to say slam poetry is alive and well in Asheville.
Yeah.
On the count of three, I want to see them scores 1, 2, and 3. From low to high, we have a 7.7. We have a 7.8. And we have a 9.1.